today we are going to talk about very important thing, and this the title of our lesson today. And our lesson today is about the difference between rationals and the irrational numbers. So what is the difference between rationals and irrational numbers? We learned that before. People discovered a group of numbers. The first group people discovered, they called it the set of natural numbers. Okay, so we have the first set, we called it the set of natural numbers. We have natural numbers, and natural numbers contains numbers like 1 and 2 and 3 and so on. Okay, and we said that people symbol this group by the letter N. So we have letter N or capital N, that refers to natural numbers. And we have also another group of numbers people discovered it, which called whole numbers. And whole numbers people discovered it because they wanted to express the existing of nothing. So they add to the natural number another number which called 0. So the difference between natural number and whole number is the group of whole numbers contains 0. So we have 0 here, and 1 and 2 and 3, and 0 we said refers to or used 0. We always use 0 to express the existing of nothing. So after that, people discovered another group or a bigger group which called integers, and we said people symboled whole numbers by letter W. And we have another group which called integers, and the Indian discovered this group, and they said we have a group or a bigger group which called integers, and the integers means numbers like negative and positive. So we have in integers two sides. The left side is negative numbers, and -2 and -1 like that, and we have 0. And we have in another right side we have 1 and 2 and 3 and so on. So we have here negative integers and positive integers, and between them 0 and 0, neither negative nor positive. So and people also symbol this group of numbers by the letter Z, and Z means integers. So we have here the smallest one is natural numbers. After that we have whole numbers. After that we have integers. And after that, people discovered, or Egyptian especially discovered, something we called it fractions. And the fractions, people used it to express a part of something from a whole thing. So we have another group of numbers which called number 4, a group of numbers which called rational numbers. So what are rationals numbers? What are rationals? Okay, we have rational numbers. So what are rationals? The definition of rational number is a rational number is a number which I can write it as A over B. So that is the shape of, or this is the way which I can write rational number, A over B, where A and B are integers. So I have to use integer numbers, and in the same time we have B doesn't equal to 0. So from this expression, or from this definition, we can say that we can say in any integer we can write it as a fraction. For example, let's take an example here. If we have a number like -2, so -2, that's an integer. I can write it as a fraction like here -2 over 1, and -2 over 1 equals -2. So here we have a numerator, and we symboled it by n, and we have here a denominator and doesn't equal to 0, and we symboled it by d. So here we can write any integer as a fraction. So we can say the fraction is a rational number. the fractions are rational numbers. So the rational numbers, or the set of rational numbers, contains the fractions. After that, as we know before, if we have any fraction like, for example, 1 over 5, in this fraction here, that's a fraction, and we have numerator and denominator, and that's the shape of rational number. So this fraction is a rational number. So the fraction is a rational number. But if I multiply it here up and down by 2, for example, if I multiply here by 2 and down by 2 also, the fraction will be 2 over 10, like that, and this is the equivalent fraction of 1 over 5. So 2 over 10, I can write it as a decimal, like 0.2. So from this example, I can say that decimals also are rational numbers. So the set of rational numbers also contains decimals. But in some cases we have decimals like that. So if we have a decimal, if I wanted to convert a fraction like, for example, if I have 4 over 11, that's a fraction, and this is this fraction in the shape of a over b, and b doesn't equal to 0, so this fraction is also a rational number. But if I wanted to convert it to a decimal, I will divide 4 by 11. So I'm going to divide here 4, long division, 4 by 11. 4 divided by 11 I can't, so I will add 0 and decimal. It will be 40 divided, so it was the nearest one is 3, because 3 it will give me 36. After that 33. After that minus, it will give me 7 I have 0, so 70 I have here 6, and so on. So this is a long division, and this long division doesn't have an end, okay, or doesn't finish, so or didn't finish. So here we have here 4 over 11. I can write it as 0.36, but I'm going to add a line up here, or draw a line over 3 and 6, because that means 3 and 6 are repeated digits, and we call this type of decimals as a repeating decimals. So here we can say that the rational numbers contains decimals, terminating decimals like 0.2, 0.1, 0.5 also, and we have repeating decimals like these decimals that I can't define its end, and we have also fractions. So that is the rational numbers. So we discovered another type of numbers, or another group of numbers, which called irrational numbers. So what are irrational numbers? So irrational numbers that cannot written in this shape a over b. So I can't write them as a over b. So that's our irrational number. Like what? So if I have, for example, if we take, for example, the square root of 11. The square root of 11 here, the square root of 11, I can't write it as a over b. Maybe someone said I can write it as over 11, square root of 11 over 1. That's okay, that's an integer. That's not integer. This is not integer, and this one is integer. So here we have square root is not an integer, so that is not a rational number, so we called it a rational number. So because if I wanted to write any number as a fraction, to make it rational number, must use in numerator integers and must use in denominator also integer. You can see the rational numbers contains numbers like square root and like pi. But if I have a number like that, what if I have a square root like that? So if I asked you to define this number is a rational or not rational number, 25, I have to simplify it firstly. 25 under a square root means we have 5. So 5 I can write it as 5 over 1, and here we have integer and here we have integer, so that's a rational number, and rational number we symboled it by q. So the rational number here, rational numbers are symboled by q, irrational numbers symboled by q dash. Okay, and read it as q dash. So the difference here between rational and irrational is, in rational number I can write any rational number in the shape of a over b, and we have a and b must be integers. Here we have a and b must be integers. Okay, so and b also doesn't equal to 0. So that is the difference between rational and irrationals. And thank you very much. Make sure to subscribe to my channel and like our videos. I will see